Muy buenos días. A los 4 días del mes de septiembre, en el Salón de Grados de la Universidad Nacional de Córdoba, damos inicio al acto en el cual se hará entrega del título de visitante distinguido de esta casa al doctor Takemasa Miyoshi. Preside este acto la vicerrectora de la Universidad Nacional de Córdoba, Magíster Mariela Marquicio. La acompañan la decana de la Facultad de Ciencias Exactas, Físicas y Naturales, doctora Magalí Carro Pérez, el profesor de la Facultad de Ciencias Exactas e investigador del CONICET, doctor Marcelo García, el director de la Agencia de Cooperación Internacional del Japón, JICA, Tasuku Ishibashi. Se encuentran presentes autoridades y miembros de la Universidad Nacional de Córdoba, el ministro de Infraestructura y Servicios Públicos, doctor Fabián López, representantes de la Agencia de Cooperación Internacional del Japón, JICA, integrantes del Consejo Nacional de Investigaciones Científicas, CONICET, profesores, investigadores y referentes de universidades de Argentina, entre ellas la Universidad de Buenos Aires y la Universidad Católica de Córdoba, investigadores del Servicio Meteorológico Nacional, representantes e investigadores integrantes del equipo del proyecto Prevenir, primer sistema de alerta temprana de inundaciones urbanas repentinas de Argentina, autoridades del Colegio de Ingenieros Civiles de Córdoba y referentes de organismos y asociaciones vinculadas a la temática, profesores, investigadores, no docentes, estudiantes e investigadores especiales. Previo a dar inicio a la distinción, vamos a darle la palabra al director de la Agencia de Cooperación Internacional del Japón, JICA, ingeniero Tasuku Ishibashi.
Buenos días a todos. Mi nombre es Tasuku Ishibashi, representante residente de oficina de JICA en Argentina. Antes de todo, quiero agradecer por la organización de esta ceremonia a las autoridades de la Universidad Nacional de Córdoba y todo su equipo involucrado. También saludar a las autoridades de Córdoba que siempre están colaborando con nuestros proyectos. La Agencia de Cooperación Internacional de Japón, JICA, es una institución administrativa independiente del gobierno de Japón. Su objetivo es contribuir la promoción de la cooperación internacional al desarrollo de la economía del propio Japón y el crecimiento socioeconómico de los países en desarrollo. Es una de las principales agencias de asistencia bilateral del mundo. Dentro de la cooperación técnica, tenemos un esquema llamado SATREPS, Science and Technology Research Partnership for Sustainable Development. El objetivo de estos proyectos es promover la investigación conjunta internacional para resolver problemas globales como el medio ambiente, la energía, los recursos biológicos, la prevención de desastres y las enfermedades infecciosas. Adquirir nuevo conocimiento en estas temáticas y aplicar los resultados para la sociedad en futuro. En Argentina se implementa en este marco del proyecto Prevenir, pronóstico y alerta de eventos de inundaciones repentinas con el objetivo de desarrollar un sistema de alerta temprana de inundaciones urbanas repentinas diseñado para 2 cuencas urbanas altamente vulnerables. Una ubica en la provincia de Buenos Aires y otra en la provincia de Córdoba. Las instituciones de investigación involucradas son el Servicio Meteorológico Nacional, el Instituto Nacional de Agua e institutos de investigación de CONICET, donde activamente está involucrada la Universidad Nacional de Córdoba. También, del lado japonés, instituciones como el Centro de Ciencias de Computación de Riken, la Universidad de Osaka y Aicham, International Center for Water Hazard and Risk Management. Hoy tenemos el honor de tener en esta ceremonia al homenajeado doctor Miyoshi Takemasa. El doctor Miyoshi es líder y principal investigador del proyecto Prevenir, representando la institución de RIKEN, y consideramos que su rol es clave para el éxito de la investigación de este proyecto. Creemos firmemente que los éxitos resultados de este proyecto contribuyan a la mejora de la sociedad, no solo de Argentina y Japón, sino que para todo el mundo. No me quiero despedir sin antes mencionar que dentro de la Universidad de Córdoba, en el Instituto de Estudios Avanzados de Ingeniería y Tecnológica, de la Facultad de Ciencias Exactas, Físicas y Naturales, hay un grupo importante de investigadores con mucha capacidad que están contribuyendo al proyecto a la par de los investigadores japoneses como Dr. Miyoshi. Desde JICA seguimos alentando las actividades de este proyecto y esperamos resultados que fortalezcan la comunidad científica de ambos países. Muchas gracias.
Agradecemos las palabras del director de la Agencia de Cooperación Internacional del Japón, JICA. Para iniciar la distinción vamos a invitar al profesor doctor Marcelo García, quien nos presenta al homenajeado.
Bueno, buen día. Autoridades presentes de organismos e instituciones internacionales, nacionales, provinciales y municipales, de la Universidad Nacional de Córdoba en general, y en particular de la Facultad de Ciencias Exactas, Físicas y Naturales, que impulsó este reconocimiento. Colegas, estudiantes, amigas y amigos. Es un verdadero honor presentar hoy al doctor Takemasa Miyoshi en esta ceremonia para su reconocimiento como visitante distinguido de nuestra universidad. Hablar del doctor Miyoshi es hablar de excelencia científica, de innovación en la asimilación de datos y en la predicción meteorológica, de liderazgo internacional en instituciones de prestigio y de distinciones del más alto nivel. Su currículum es tan extenso que detallar cada paso de su trayectoria nos llevaría mucho tiempo. Sin embargo, hoy quiero poner el foco en un aspecto que lo define aún más profundamente: su perseverancia y su compromiso con Argentina y con Córdoba. El proyecto Prevenir, que es el que nos convoca hoy, nos llena de orgullo. No nació de un día para el otro. Se trata de una iniciativa de investigación conjunta entre instituciones de Japón y de Argentina, con el objetivo de desarrollar herramientas innovadoras para el pronóstico y la alerta temprana de inundaciones repentinas. Su aprobación y financiamiento fueron el resultado de 7 años de intenso trabajo, ajustes, mejoras y nuevas presentaciones. 7 años en el que el profesor Takemasa Miyoshi, aún contando con una trayectoria que le habría permitido elegir y liderar proyectos de primer nivel en cualquier parte del mundo, decidió seguir apostando por nosotros. Reconoció lo que debía mejorarse, trabajó codo a codo con sus colegas argentinos y nunca perdió la convicción de que este esfuerzo valía la pena. Esa tenacidad, esa paciencia y esa confianza en el trabajo colectivo son un ejemplo enorme para las y los jóvenes que hoy se forman en nuestra universidad. Nos enseñan que el verdadero liderazgo científico no consiste únicamente en producir artículos científicos ni en recibir premios, sino también en creer en las personas y en las instituciones con las que se trabaja, acompañarlas en sus desafíos y no rendirse hasta ver los proyectos convertidos en realidad. Gracias a esa perseverancia de 7 años, Córdoba y Buenos Aires contarán con una iniciativa pionera, un sistema de alerta temprana para inundaciones que pueden salvar vidas y transformar la gestión del agua y del riesgo hídrico en nuestro país. Y lo más valioso, hoy un número importante de estudiantes de grado y posgrado que están sentados acá, se están formando directamente en este proyecto, aprendiendo de primera mano cómo la ciencia, la tecnología y la cooperación internacional pueden transformar la realidad de nuestras comunidades. Estoy convencido de que el reconocimiento como visitante distinguido no refleja solo los logros académicos del profesor Takemasa Miyoshi, sino también su generosidad, su humildad y su capacidad de inspirar a las futuras generaciones de profesionales de nuestra facultad, en especial a aquellos que se están formando en la nueva carrera de licenciatura en hidrometeorología, de nuestra universidad. Por todo esto, ha sido un verdadero orgullo para nosotros, desde el Departamento de Hidráulica de la Facultad de Ciencias Exactas, Físicas y Naturales, proponer en primera instancia su candidatura al Honorable Consejo Directivo y luego al Honorable Consejo Superior, para que hoy se le otorgue este reconocimiento, con profunda gratitud, afecto y admiración. Gracias, profesor Takemasa.
Muchísimas gracias al profesor doctor Marcelo García. Invitamos a la vicerrectora Mariela Marquicio a realizar la entrega del diploma que acredita al doctor Takemasa Miyoshi como visitante distinguido de esta Universidad Nacional de Córdoba. Vamos a solicitar a continuación a las autoridades que desciendan del estrado para escuchar al homenajeado, quien dictará la conferencia Ciencias sin Fronteras, cómo la Alianza Japón-Argentina está revolucionando la prevención de desastres.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't speak Spanish very well, so muy poquito hablo español, so por favor. Sorry that I will speak in English. It's really beyond what I expected today to receive this great honor from the University of Córdoba. It's really my great pleasure. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for all of you being here to share this moment with me and with everyone. Thank you very much. So I'm asked to talk for 20 minutes about whatever topic I can choose. And I chose this topic. So this is really, already this project Prevenir was mentioned previously. But as Professor Marcelo said, this was a big challenge for us, first to propose our ideas how to improve this disaster prevention for Argentina, to work together with Japanese scientists and Argentinian scientists. And it took us 7 years, so 7 trials, and every time we are almost there. And that's why I thought that we have to continue until we get it. And we got it like 4 years ago. So one message to students, particularly, don't give up. There will be a chance. So even, well, I don't know why we were not selected for 7 times, but it was trying again and again. And every time we improved our proposal. So that's why I think in the first trial, we didn't have University of Córdoba part of this project. But we improved every year. And finally, we have this form. It's really promising. So let me start, from talking about our institution and what we did with these computers here in Kobe, Japan. So this is a research institute. It's a national, mostly national scientific research institute. And we have the biggest supercomputer in Japan. And it was ranked #1 in the world when it was built. You know, the computer is improving very rapidly. So even if it's ranked #1, it doesn't continue for a long time. So we have this computer, and we thought about what will be the best science that we can do with this computer. And I have a group of scientists working together on the subject called data assimilation. So we get the data from the real nature or the real world, any phenomena. We have a model in the computer, and what bridges between the data and the computer simulations. This is called data assimilation. Briefly talking about my own background, I graduated from Kyoto University in 2000, and then I started working for the weather service, the national weather service in Japan. It's called the Japan Meteorological Agency. And then I had a chance to study at the University of Maryland for 2 years in a graduate school. This was part of the Japanese government employee training program. That's why I had a very strict 2 years time limit. And I was supposed to complete master's degree for 2 years, that's reasonable. But I also finished my PhD thesis in 2 years. This is a record of the university because there is no way to make it faster. And then I did my PhD thesis was about data assimilation method. At that time was not used in the operational weather service. But when I went back to Japan, I continued the development of the theory that I developed at the University of Maryland, and that led to the operational system now in Japan and also in Argentina. Why that happened? Because all started from this. This is Spanish, something that I received from Professor Celeste Saulo. She's now Secretary General of the World Meteorological Organization. That's part of the United Nations organizations. And also Professor Eugenia Kalney on the bottom right. She was a professor at the University of Maryland. And she was my thesis advisor, the academic advisor. And she helped me a lot to complete my PhD in 2 years. That's really exceptional. It was very difficult to convince all the committee professors that it's okay for the university to give me the PhD only in 2 years. So she was really my mentor, the real mentor. So this event happened in 2008, and that was my first time to be in Argentina. And that time I built, so that was a course, as it is said, an intensive course on data assimilation. Professor Kalney gave lectures in Spanish. I knew the scientific content. I didn't understand the Spanish, but I understood her lecture. And so that time I also involved in the teaching activities at the University of Buenos Aires, where I met Dr. Juan Ruiz here at that course. And that was all the start for the connection between myself and all the friends here in Argentina. And thanks to this connection, I have many friends now. I'm very happy. So what we did with this supercomputer, the first generation biggest supercomputer in Japan was this 2012 computer called the K computer. And we started all the activities doing the top research on data assimilation. So we used this computer to do the huge scale simulations with big data, what was called at that time in 2012. And now we have this 2021 new computer called Fugaku. Fugaku is another name of Mount Fuji, meaning it's very high peak and also having a broad base, because the mountain is not a stick. It's a high peak, but it requires a broader base at the bottom. So it involves a lot of different fields and also a lot of studies to make most use of this computer. So this is all about the science, push all the limit to the human knowledge. So the human knowledge will help all human beings, basically. That's the purpose of the science. And one of the highlights of what we did is this Golden Bell Prize for climate modeling. We didn't win the prize, but we were listed as one of the 3 finalists. And this is about our experiment using this computer Fugaku for the real-time heavy rain forecast during the Tokyo Olympic Games in 2021. So what we did was really unique. First, we used this computer exclusively, only part of it, but part of it already have 500,000 cores. It's massively parallel supercomputing. And we used a new meteorological radar that observes the rain very precisely. This is called the MP-PAR, the multi-parameter phase array radar. And so we can observe every 30 seconds whole sky scanning. And we developed a system to send the data immediately to our computer in 3 seconds after the completion of the observation. Then we compute every 30 seconds the next 30 minutes future forecast. So this is one of the images that we created during Tokyo Olympic Games. So you can see this date. It's in the summer of, in Japan it was summer in 21, and every 30 seconds the image refresh. So we have the heavy rain. This is Tokyo Bay, and this is middle of Tokyo. So that time some game were there. So our simulation shows something like this. So each of these towers corresponds to the cloud, the heavy rain cloud. It's a thunderstorm. So we can see these individual storms are very well represented in our model computations, very similar to what is observed. So our system is really different orders of magnitude computations, particularly this part. Every 30 seconds, compared with other systems, I list other systems in the world like Japanese or the US, Canada. These are all top centers for the weather prediction, and they use this 1 hour update. It's quite fast if you think about collecting the data and producing the forecast. 1 hour is quite fast, but we do 120 times in an hour. So that's the speed of the computation and also the data acquisition and everything. So this is what we achieved. So this is top science, and we are now doing the experiment in Osaka World Expo. That's now ongoing here in Osaka. We have 2 radars at the same time, so that's a big advantage. Then we are now doing the experiment using an updated system. So we still work on the updates of these weather prediction systems, and this is part of the top science. Let me skip this part. I think it's okay. And now the AI can do many things. So that's another topic, because if we think about the future computers, these computational needs are mostly focused on the AI type of computation. And this is different from the traditional type of the weather forecasting simulations. So that's why we are now looking how to apply the AI technologies or techniques within this weather prediction system. So we have this phase array radar data, and we apply first a deep learning approach called the convolutional long short-term memory. That's a kind of neural network to produce a future image. So purely based on the data, we can produce the future image like this. And we also have this physical model, the numerical weather prediction. The idea is to combine these two. So we combine these 2 algorithms to produce the best possible forecast. And we could produce, ignore the left side, this is a skill. So we can draw a skill with different methods, but this highest skill here is by this combination of AI and numerical weather prediction. So this is one direction that we are looking for. So this is a kind of research that we do in Japan, and this is the top research in this area. And the idea of the prevenir based on the transition or the transfer of the knowledge from the top science to the society. And the field is now in Argentina. But again, the knowledge that we gain from the science can be applied to anything, to all human beings. But we have very good friendship, and Argentina is a very good field because there are increasing risk of the flooding. And even the past week here in Cordoba, we had heavy rain, and some parts of Cordoba province was flooded. So this is an increasing risk. This is winter here, and it's abnormal, right? So we developed this idea of prevenir. We are happy after we started this project because we prepared for 7 years. That's maybe why we are making really, really good progress. So this project was recently endorsed by the WMO, the World Meteorological Organization. And this is very recognized in the world now, in the scientific communities. So this has been already mentioned by JICA Ishibashi-san. So we have the institutions involved, and Cordoba is, I think, here. The University of Cordoba has this CONICET and here, and also the government of the province of Cordoba is kindly directly involved, so that we can make the direct contact to the society. And that's the design of our research project. And we have 2 domains as the pilot regions. One is in Buenos Aires province. It's a small rivers, but this causes troubles for these urban areas. And the same for this Cordoba region. This side is a Cordoba. And we have the dam and the upstream of Suquía River. And Suquía River flows in the city of Cordoba. So we study these areas, and we developed the whole project structure, starting from the observation, prediction, and dissemination of the data, and understanding of the data in the society. So even if we produce good data, we need to interpret the data properly to use that information effectively. So that we work with these communities directly. And also looking at the future, we need to develop the capacities. That means students or young scientists or professionals working in these sectors. So we also work together for the educational kind of activities, and all are included. And let me skip. Okay, so this is an observation part. We implemented this new instruments in the river, or some kind of instruments in Cordoba. So particularly this instrument is installed in Cordoba. And also we develop the system to estimate the rain. This is not trivial. So we estimate the rain and then forecast. This is our strength. So we use this supercomputer Fugaku in part of this research. And we produce a hydrological forecasting. So this is a river water level, and we can predict the future river water level based on our rain estimation for the future. And we work with the people who use this data, so that we did a lot of workshops to design software to disseminate this information. And then we also did educational activities. So this is a booklet we created near the beginning of our project, basically for kids at the school. Small kids, they learn how things work, why the river floods or those things. And then we also have the exchange, like this number of exchange from Japan to Argentina. One of these is me here, and Argentina to Japan. There are many Argentinian scientists visiting Japan. And we also did a lot of schools or activities for the education, like at the University of Buenos Aires here. And next week in Cordoba, I will do a lecture on data assimilation. And yeah, all these are schools, but all building the connections, that's really essential. So we need a mutual trust, so that is a base for all these collaborative research activities. And these are the faces from the students in Buenos Aires and also Cordoba. They are all here in this room. Thank you very much. And also we have the Nordest University in Corrientes. We also have students visiting it. visiting Japan. Yeah, so I think it's the end. So now we finished the third year, and we are getting very high evaluation based on our 3 years effort. Now we are ready to complete this research in the next few years period, and we are thinking what's next. So what was the most important here was to build and deepen the connections or the network among the scientists and students, and this is a right time to continue our collaborative activities. And thank you very much again for everything for today and also the continuing friendship. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Takemasa Miyoshi, doctor, y ahora visitante distinguido de la Universidad Nacional de Córdoba. Agradecemos a todos la presencia y con los acordes del himno universitario Gaudeamos y Quitur damos por finalizada esta ceremonia.